Good morning, students. Uh, Today, our topic of study will be the peasants movement. Understand? Or we have seen that many of the movements which were not the class movement or any sectional and occupational groups movement or the movements of the interest groups or some of the movement we have seen in our previous class are of the international nature, like the environmental movement, like the women's rights movement, and the human rights movement, and moreover, or the environmental movement, we have seen that of the having a very international nature of this movement. But the movement which we are going to study in this topic, it is the concern with the very sectional movement or occupational, or it and moreover, this movement is the can be the called as the and characterized in the pressure groups movement. Understand? Pressure groups movement. So now this peasants movement, as I talked in our previous class a very little bit, is that the peasants have been the suppressed and have been the living in a very deplorable conditions for the centuries, and their condition upliftments, and they have been the now bearing the economic burden or the economic entire economic burden of a country, and particularly in the agro-based society. Understand? The peasants their significance can't be denied or in any society, because the peasants are those section or those group, understand, which provide the food to the entire living beings, understand, entire human beings. So now this is their movements and their concern becomes the very much important, understand. And the movements on this agrarian struggle have pre-colonial day, or this movement, as I have seen, we have seen that in the ancient history is the replete with the Kishan and farmers movements. Ancient history, if you see, if you look back to the medieval history, during the Sultan's rules, understand, many the movements happens, and one of the movements I just explained during the Muhammad bin Tughlaq, understand, in the Doaba, the farmers of the Doaba, they now they started a movement and the revolt against the Muhammad bin Tughlaq, and this revolt was although suppressed very ruthlessly by the sultans, and when the farmers took the shelter in the forest where they had been hunted like the animals, understand, and killed in the jungles. This was the very much a pathetic scene there, and moreover, we see that during the Aurangzeb period also, if you study the advanced study in the universities study, these are the full of incidents are the peasants movements and the farmers movement we can find, understand. But here before the advent of the British in India and the coming of the British establishment of the British rule in India, we have a lot of instances that can be the proof the peasants movement, understand. Of the students, here in our course of study, we say we have to be the centered about the movement in the period like the pre-British period, understand, or the within the British period, the movements in the period between 1858, means the Great Revolt, after the Great Revolt, and the 1940 remain the localized. These movements happened, the farmers movement happened, but this movement were localized or disjointed. It was the having the and confined to the particular grievances, and these movements were launched because of the certain grievances and the certain issues of the farmers. These movements had been started, and well known are the Bengal revolts of the 1859 to the 62. Bengal, and where we know that the British government required the indigo for the coloring the clothes produced in the Birmingham and the Lancashire and the Manchester, Birmingham and Lancashire or the Manchester. These British mill requires and British clothes required the indigo for the indigo for the coloring the clothes. Understand? They require, or as the they required the for that the in the Bengal or Bengal they encourage the cultivation of the indigo. Understand? Indigo, or because of this plant indigo plantations, it was done by the British planters or the British under the control of British planters or the British contractor. Understand? And they now begin to exploit the farmers and the cultivators, indigo cultivators, because their price were very low. Understand? Or they were forced to uh, uh, produce on the certain part of their lands, certain chunk of their lands. They were forcibly done, and moreover, the prices were not just determined or the fixed by the contractors. Understand? Or the farmers say, although unwillingly, farmers were forced to cultivate this indigo. Although this was the it's had the not good impact on the agriculture on the land. Okay, so now this indigo plantation system now was there in the Bengal. The Bengal's people revolted, and later on it was the resolved by the British government. They now constituted the committees, and then after their grievances were redressed, for indigo farmers' grievances redressed well later on by these committees, and further or this plantation system and the Deccan riots in the 1857. Here the Deccan riots, it was related, associated with the productions of the cotton productions. Now we know that the American War of Independence happened. The British now got the supply of the cotton from the America and from the India. Understand? And particularly the Deccans, the black soil is the very suitable for the cotton productions. Understand? Now here the British government as the war independence or the civil war broke out in the America. The civil war happened. Then after the what happened? The American supply, understand, of the American supply of the indigo disrupted. Understand? And as that disrupted, the entire focus of the British, British requirements, entire focus the British had towards the Indian cotton system. And here what happened? Now the money lenders, the Mahajans, understand, they now began to exploit that the cultivators and the farmers, indigo and the cotton farmers, exploited these Mahajans now wrongly or in a very wrong way. They charged the interest upon the farmers. Understand? Or interest upon interest, a very compound interest they begin to take from these farmers, and ultimately farmers, because of these understand, once a boom indigo boom they happened in the cotton production in the Maharashtra, or a boom they happened in the Deccan, a boom came. But later on, as again the supply was restored in the America between America and England, then after our demands fallen. So as a result, what happened? These farmers had to be the lead a very hard life, but they have to be make the production, and particularly the reason was that the money lenders and the Mahajans, they control the cotton production in the Maharashtra or in Deccan area. As a result, now the Deccan riots happened and broke out against the Mahajan, against the local Mahajans. This was that, or and that this although this uprisings was suppressed by the British government, understand, or a Deccan Riots Commission was constituted to resolve the problem of that. So this was the concern. A particular problem concerned the with the money lenders. Some of these issues continued into the following period, and the Mahatma Gandhi became, we know very well, Gandhiji particularly was linked with the or the linked the Kishan and the farmers with the independence movement, and in the Bardoli Satyagraha movements. Okay, in the 1928, in the Surat districts, a non-tax campaign, as a part of the nationwide non-cooperation movement began. A non-cooperation movement, a campaign of refusal of pay land revenue and the Champaran land revenue. We know that in the Bardoli, the Gandhiji, okay, and the Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel and the others leaders from the Gujarat, okay, they now started, or this later on taken the form of the nationwide movements. And similarly in other movement in the 1917 and 18, and the Gandhians first just launching of his political life, and the political experiment now began from the Champaran, where the indigo planters, understand, they forced the local farmers, understand, farmers for the cultivation of the indigo. And moreover, the Tinkatia system was implemented there. And according to the Tinkatia system, the farmers out of the 20 kattha of the land, understand, out of that 3 kattha, they were compulsorily, they had to cultivate the indigo. And moreover, these planters, they had been not provided the adequate the prices. They were forcibly deployed in the indigo cultivations, or despite their unwillingness, understand. So these were the factors and the reason the indigo just a movement started, Champaran movement began, and this was the first opportunity for the Gandhiji to get into the political arena, understand, and where the Gandhi got the success, and on the initiation of the Rajkumar Shukla from Bihar, understand, or who now convinced the Gandhiji, persuaded the Gandhiji to launch just see the problem of these indigo farmers, understand. So Gandhi now launched this or directed the indigo plantation in the 1920 protest movement against the forest. Then after, we see that in 1920s the forest developers movement started, understand, because we know that if British government by the passing the different forest laws, understand, the forest peoples, understand, their rights had been taken away. They were forced to evacuate the forest, and also leading the very deplorable life, or the very a precious life, hard pressing lives they had to live. Understand? So see now, if they revolted, understand, or they now went on revolutions, no doubt. And moreover, local rulers arose certain regions. The British government and the local rulers. Recall our discussion on the structure of the changes in the chapter. So let's see. Between 1920, if you see, right from the 1920 to the 40, peasants organization arose in India. 1920 to 40, between that, if you see in the decades, 2 decades, that arose. First organization to be founded was the Bihar Provincial Kisan Sabha. The first organization, Bihar Provincial Kisan Sabha, in 1920. It was the first step. And 1936, the All India Kisan Sabha was for In the 1936, peasants organized by Sabha demanded freedom from economic exploitation. From the All India Kisan Sabha, they demanded, their objective was to free from the economic exploitation for the peasants, workers and all other exploited classes. Their demand was the major demand. At the time of the independence, we had the two most classical case of the peasants. Here we have the uh, classical cases of the peasants movement. Understand? Classical peasants of the movement, namely the two movements were the very prominent movement after the independence. First the movement, namely the Tibhaga movement. This Tibhaga movement 1946 to 47. Understand? Tibhaga movement or Telangana movements 1946 to 51. Now the first was the struggle to sharecroppers. First Tibhaga movement started in Bengal. Understand? Sharecroppers. So first, why the first Tibhaga movement? Tibhaga movement of the Kishan in Bengal. Sharecroppers in Bengal in North Bihar, and the Bengal and the North Bihar is the very just adjacent. For the 2/3 share of their produce instead of the customary half. Now they wanted North Bihar for 2/3 of the shares of their produce instead of the customary half. Understand? They wanted the 2/3 of the share instead of the customary half. 50% was that, but they wanted the major portions, almost the 30% with them, and moreover, it had the support of the Kisan Sabha. So at in Bengal, the Tibhaga movement started. Understand? So the Kisan Sabha, which established in the 1936, help in this, and the Communist Party also, CPI, Communist Party of India, also helped the Tibhaga movements. Or the second directed against the feudal conditions. The second movement, Telangana movement, and this movement was directed against the feudal condition in the princely state of the Hyderabad and led by the CPI. So second, the Telangana movement was launched by the CPI, Communist Party of the India. Understand? In the Hyderabad state, princely state, and for the betterment of the Kishan and the farmers. This movement was launched by the Communist Party of India in the Hyderabad states. Understand? And during those time, that state was under a princely states, not the okay. And certain issues had the dominated colonial times changed after the now some issues which were much pressing in the colonial time change for land reforms. Next, the land reforms movement after the independence, Zamindari abolitions, initiation were taken by the government of India, declining importance of land revenue, public credit system, or began to alter the rural area. Understand? Or this began to change. The movements or the demands, the new demands now begin to come because of the many reforms have been made by the government after the independence, or public credit system was started. So the nature of the movement changed under this changed circumstances. The period 47 was characterized by two major social movements. 47. First, Naxalite struggle, 1947. After that, the movement began, the Kishan and the farmers, landless farmers. Naxalite, new farmers movement. The Naxalite movement started from the region of Naxalbari in the 1967. This was started from the Bengal, and the central problem for the peasants was the land. In this, the central problem for the peasant landless farmers, and the peasants wanted their lands because they were the landless, and then now here the we can see the within the agrarian structure, rural India, chapter 4, boxes 1 and 2, you can see where, understand. So now we can see next, the many of the agrarian problems persisted in contemporary India also. Still the agrarian system, also the credit system, for the credit, for the water, okay, for the manure, for the rate of their produce and crops in the market. Understand that these all are the reasons for banning the export. If the government bans the export of their crops, against that, so the many new issues there by the changing time and the changing requirements happens. The so-called new farmers movements began in the 70s, particularly in Punjab and the Tamil Nadu, where the green revolutions happened. Okay, so now the new movement, or this was the movement regionally organized, although in the Punjab regionally organized, not as a all India organization, where non, and these were not belong to the any party. These were the, and involved the farmers rather than peasants. Involve the farmers. Farmers, why you have to be the C. Peasants and farmers are the different. Involve the farmers. Farmers are said to be the market involved as both a commodity producer and the purchasers. Farmers are those who make the production, agriculture production for the market from purpose. Understand? And they are the seller and buyers there in the market. The basic ideology of the movement was strongly anti-state, and this movement was the New Farmers Movement in the 1970s. Anti-state, anti-urban. Focus of demands were price and related issues. The main focus of these issues of this movement in the New Farmers Movement is what? The price related issues. For example, price procurement, remunerated prices, price for agricultural inputs, taxation system, non-payments of the loans, non-payments of the loans. If they take the loans and not able, then after, understand, they are unable to, so they make the movement and start the movements for the exemption of the tax, or the exemptions of even exemption of the loans. Remuneration price loan. Novel methods of agitations were used there, but the methods these agriculturists and the farmers use for making the pressure and laying the pressure upon the government. First, blocking the roads. They block the road, railway lines, refusing the politicians and bureaucrats entry to the village. Not let they refuse the entry of the bureaucrats and the politicians and so on. It has been the argued that farmers movements have a broadened. This farmers movement has broadened their agenda. Gradually they are the broadening their agenda or their ideology, including the environment movement, environment and the women's issues also. So they are now incorporating themselves with the environment movements and the women's movements also. Therefore, they can be the seen as a part of worldwide new social movement. That is why their scope has been broadened. Their branches they have now included the other movements also along with that. So this is the this is called as a new social movement. Understand? So this topic you will read or a box make from the 8.7, 8.8. These box if you read. Understand? Well, आप पढ़ लेंगे. Next topic से we shall start in the further the workers movement means the factory workers. Understand? Laborers, those who are the working in the factory establishment and sites. That is the okay. Today the next period we shall